My girlfriend 26F is so obsessed with her idol that she told me 28M. I can never compare to him. I think our 3-year relationship is over. I am writing this at 2 a.m. because I cannot sleep, and honestly don't know if I am being reasonable or if I am the asshole here. My girlfriend Lily and I have been together for 3 years. And for most of that time, things were great. She is funny, smart, beautiful, and we had real plans together. Saving for a house, talking about marriage, the whole deal. But there is this one thing that has been eating away at our relationship. And tonight it reached a breaking point. Lily is obsessed with a K-pop idol. And when I say obsessed, I don't mean she likes his music or thinks he is cute. I mean she has turned our shared apartment into a shrine to this guy. Every wall in our bedroom has his poster. Our living room has a dedicated corner with his albums, photo cards, and merchandise displayed like it is a museum exhibit. She owns 3 different versions of his light stick. At first, I thought it was endearing. Everyone needs hobbies, right? When we first started dating, she had mentioned she was into K-pop, and I genuinely tried to be supportive. I learned the guy's name, listened to some of his songs, even watched a few music videos with her. He is talented. I will give him that. But somewhere along the way, what started as casual interest became something much darker. She stays up until 3 a.m. watching his old live streams and interviews. She has learned enough Korean to understand what he is saying without subtitles. She tracks his schedule better than she tracks our anniversary date. When there are rumors about him dating someone, she spends days crying, like someone died. I am not exaggerating. Actual tears, calling in sick to work, refusing to eat. The financial stuff started small. An extra album here. Some photo cards there. I didn't think much of it because it was her money. But over the past year, it has escalated to the point where she is spending more on this idol than on our shared expenses. Last month, I discovered she had been pulling money from our joint savings account, the one we specifically opened for our future house down payment, to buy limited edition merchandise and concert tickets. We had $12,000 saved up. Now we have $4,000. When I confronted her about it, she seemed genuinely confused about why I was upset. It is just money, Ethan. We can save more later. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see him perform in LA. Don't you want me to be happy? I told her that of course I wanted her to be happy, but not at the expense of our future together. That is when she said something that has been haunting me for weeks. You could never compare to him anyway. He is everything I want in a man, talented, beautiful, successful, caring about his fans. You are just ordinary. Just ordinary. I have been trying to process those words ever since. Is wanting to build a life with someone ordinary? Is being faithful and supportive and working my ass off to provide for us ordinary? Is loving someone with their flaws and quirks ordinary? The thing is, Reddit, I am starting to feel like I am in a relationship by myself. When we watch movies, she is scrolling through his Instagram. When we go out to dinner, she is showing me videos of him instead of talking to me. When we are intimate, I sometimes catch her looking at his pictures on her phone that she leaves face up on the nightstand. I feel like I am competing with a fantasy, and I am losing. Tonight, I asked her if she could maybe take down some of the posters in our bedroom. Not all of them. Just enough. So our room doesn't look like a teenage fan's bedroom. She looked at me like I had asked her to cut off her arm. Why would I do that? He inspires me every day. Looking at him makes me happy. Isn't that what matters? What about what makes us happy as a couple? We can be happy, and I can still love him. Love. She used the word love. I don't know what to do here, guys. Part of me thinks I am being jealous and controlling. But another part of me feels like I have completely lost my girlfriend to someone who doesn't know she exists. Is this normal fan behavior that I just don't understand? Am I being unreasonable for wanting to feel like a priority in my own relationship? How do you compete with someone perfect who exists only in photos and music videos edit? A lot of people are asking about the money situation. The $8,000 she spent includes $2,000 for a flight and hotel to LA for his concert, $1,500 for VIP tickets, about $3,000 on various limited edition albums and merchandise over the past 6 months, and $1,500 on Korean language classes, so she can understand him better. She didn't ask my permission for any of it. Edit 2. To those saying I should be more supportive, I have tried. Genuinely. I learned his name, his band members' names, listened to his music, watched variety shows with her. But there is a difference between being supportive of a hobby and watching that hobby consume your partner's entire identity. Update the responses really opened my eyes to how far this situation has gone. Thank you to everyone who took the time to share their perspectives. I decided to try having one more serious conversation with Lily before making any major decisions about our relationship. I waited until we were both free on a Saturday morning, made her favorite breakfast, and asked if we could talk about where we stood. I started by acknowledging that I understood this idol was important to her, and that I wasn't trying to take away something that brought her joy. But I explained that I needed to feel valued in our relationship. And lately, I hadn't been feeling that way. She seemed to be listening, so I continued. I asked if we could establish some basic boundaries. Major purchases over $200 from our joint savings needed to be discussed. One night a week could be US time without any idle content. Maybe we could redecorate the bedroom to feel more like a space we both enjoyed. She agreed to all of it. She actually seemed relieved that I wasn't asking her to give up her interest entirely, just to make room for our relationship too. I felt cautiously optimistic. That optimism lasted exactly 4 days. On Wednesday, I came home from work to find a package on our doorstep. Lily was excitedly opening it when I walked in. Another limited edition photo book that cost $150. When I reminded her about our conversation, she said, "Oh, I ordered this before we talked." It doesn't count. Friday night was supposed to be our first US night. I came home with ingredients to cook dinner together and a movie I thought we would both enjoy. Lily was glued to her laptop watching his live stream from Seoul. "He is talking about his new album," she said without looking up. "This is important. Can we do our thing tomorrow instead?" But what really broke me happened over the weekend. I was doing laundry and found a credit card statement that had fallen out of her pocket. My credit card statement, the one for the card I had added her to as an authorized user for emergencies. $400 in charges over the past 2 weeks. All to Korean merchandise sites. When I confronted her, she didn't even try to deny it. "I was going to pay you back when I got paid. Besides, you make more money than I do. What is $400 to you?" I told her it wasn't about the money. It was about the lying, the broken promises, the complete disregard for what we had agreed on just days earlier. That is when she said something that I don't think I will ever be able to unhear. "Maybe if you were more like him, I wouldn't need to spend so much time thinking about him. He would never make his girlfriend choose between her happiness and their relationship. He would support her dreams. I am not making you choose, Lily. I am asking you to include me in your life. You don't understand. You could never understand what he means to me. Sometimes I wish he was my boyfriend instead of you. At least then I would be with someone who is actually special." I just stared at her. This was the woman I had been planning to propose to. The woman I had spent 3 years building a life with. And she was telling me she wished she was dating someone who doesn't even know her name. I slept on the couch that night. The next morning, I started looking at apartments. Edit. For people asking why, I don't just try to understand her passion better. I have tried. I really have. But there is a difference between sharing someone's interests and being told you are inferior to their fantasy. Edit 2. The idol she is obsessed with seems like a genuinely good guy from what I have seen. This isn't his fault. This is about Lily choosing to live in a fantasy instead of reality. Update 2. I thought I had reached my limit before, but apparently I was wrong. What happened at my birthday party last weekend was so bizarre that I am still processing it. Some background. I had been staying at my friend Marcus's place for the past 2 weeks while I apartment hunted. Lily had been texting constantly. Apologies. Promises to change. Asking when I was coming home. I told her I needed space to think, but that we could still celebrate my birthday together as planned. She had been planning this party for a month. Invited all our mutual friends, made dinner reservations at my favorite restaurant, the works. I thought maybe it was her way of showing she understood how much she had hurt me and wanted to make things right. The party started well enough. About 15 people showed up, college friends, co-workers, some of her friends I had gotten close to over the years. Everyone was in good spirits. The food was great, and for a few hours it felt like old times. Then came the gift-giving portion of the evening. I got some really thoughtful presents from friends. A nice bottle of whiskey, tickets to a baseball game, a book I had mentioned wanting to read. When it came time for Lily's gift, she seemed nervous, but excited. She handed me this elaborately wrapped box and said, "I think you are really going to love this." I opened it up, and inside was a signed album of her idol. The same idol who had been the source of all our problems. I just stared at it, trying to process what I was seeing. Everyone else went quiet too. Finally, I looked up at her and said, "Lily, this is my birthday party. Why are you giving me a gift about your idol?" She lit up, like I had just complimented her outfit. "Isn't it amazing? I waited in a virtual line for 6 hours to get one with his signature. Do you know how rare these are? I thought you should have something special from him too, since he is such a big part of our lives." A big part of our lives. On my birthday, she gave me merchandise of the guy she had told me she wished she was dating instead of me. "But this is for you, isn't it?" I asked. "You are the one who likes him." "Well, yeah, obviously I will probably look at it sometimes, but it is yours. You can put it in your office or something." One of my friends, Jake, tried to lighten the mood by joking, "Man, Ethan, your girlfriend got you a present that she is going to enjoy more than you are." Everyone laughed uncomfortably. Lily didn't laugh. Instead, she got defensive. "You guys don't understand how meaningful this is. This represents hours of effort, and it cost me $300. Ethan should feel honored." That is when something inside me just snapped. "In front of all our friends," I said, "Lily, do you understand that you just gave me a birthday present that is entirely about your obsession with another man? He is not just another man. He is someone you told me you wish you were dating instead of me, and now you are giving me his merchandise as a birthday gift. Can you see how messed up that is?" She got flustered and started raising her voice. "Why cannot you just appreciate the thought that went into this? You are being so ungrateful. He is an amazing person, and you should be happy that I want to share something I love with you. What about sharing your actual love with me? When is the last time you put half this much thought into our relationship?" That is when she completely lost it. "Fine, you want the truth. Sometimes I pretend you are him when we are together. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like to date someone actually worth being excited about. You are just ordinary, Ethan. He is everything you will never be." The room went dead silent. 15 people just witnessed my girlfriend tell me she fantasizes about another man during intimate moments and that she considers me a consolation prize. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and said, "Thanks for the party, everyone. I am sorry you had to see this." Then I looked at Lily and said, "We are done. I will come get my stuff this week." I left my own birthday party and spent the night driving around the city, trying to understand how I would let things get this far. Edit. Multiple people have asked. Yes, she kept the album. When I told her we were done, she said, "Well, at least now, I don't have to pretend you might appreciate it." Edit 2. Some of our mutual friends have reached out. Apparently after I left, Lily spent the rest of the party trying to convince everyone that I was overreacting and that her idol obsession was just a hobby that I don't understand. Most people weren't buying it. Final update: it has been a month since I walked out of my own birthday party and ended a 3-year relationship. A lot of you have been asking for updates, so I wanted to share where things stand. I am doing really, really well. Better than I have felt in years. Honestly, I found a great apartment about 10 minutes from my office. It is smaller than the place Lily and I shared, but it is mine. No posters of strange men on the walls. No shrine in the living room. No merchandise taking up space that should be for, living. It is peaceful in a way I had forgotten was possible. The financial recovery has been easier than expected. Lily kept the apartment we had shared, so I didn't have to worry about breaking the lease. She also kept all her idol merchandise. Obviously, the $8,000 she spent from our joint savings account. I am treating it as an expensive but worthwhile lesson about compatibility and priorities. Work has been going great. Turns out when you are not constantly stressed about your home life, you have more mental energy for everything else. I got a promotion last month that I had been working toward for over a year. As for Lily, well, she has made her choice clear. She has been posting constantly on social media about her idol. Concert photos from 3 different cities, unboxing videos of new merchandise, essays about why he is the perfect man. From what mutual friends tell me, she has been spinning our breakup as me being controlling and unsupportive of her interests. She has texted me a few times, long messages about how she realizes she made mistakes and wants to work things out. But here is the thing, even in her apology texts, she cannot help but mention him. I know I got too carried away with Idol's name, but I have learned to balance things better. Or maybe we could try again, and you could learn to appreciate what he means to me. She still doesn't get it. She still thinks this was about me being jealous of her hobby, not about me being treated like a placeholder in my own relationship. The clearest sign that I made the right choice came 2 weeks ago. I was having coffee with Sarah, one of our mutual friends, when she told me something that blew my mind. Apparently, last year when I was away on that work conference for a week, Lily spent the entire time I was gone rearranging our apartment to create better display spaces for her idol stuff. She moved our furniture around, took down photos of us together, and basically redecorated our shared space to accommodate her obsession. When I came home, I noticed things looked different, but she told me she had just been cleaning and organizing. I believed her because I trusted her. Now I know she was literally erasing our relationship from our own home to make room for her fantasy. I have started dating again, casually. Nothing serious yet, but it has been eye-opening to spend time with women who are actually present when we are together. Women who ask about my day and listen to the answer. Women who don't compare me to celebrities or make me feel like I am auditioning for their attention. Last weekend, I went on a date with someone I met through friends. We had dinner, saw a movie, and spent 3 hours afterward just talking. She didn't check her phone once during our entire time together. She didn't mention any male celebrities. She laughed at my jokes, asked thoughtful questions, and seemed genuinely interested in getting to know me as a person. It was such a simple thing, but after years of feeling invisible in my own relationship, being seen and appreciated for who I am felt revolutionary. I don't hate Lily. I hope she finds happiness, whatever that looks like for her. But I finally understand that her version of happiness doesn't include space for a real, imperfect, 3-dimensional partner. She wants to live in a fantasy, and that is her choice. But I deserve more than being someone's consolation prize while they pine for an impossible dream. I spent 3 years trying to compete with a fantasy and wondering why I always fell short. Now I realize the problem was never that I wasn't good enough. The problem was that I was real, and she preferred the fantasy. Edit. Thank you all for the incredible support throughout this whole ordeal. Reading your comments and knowing I wasn't crazy for feeling hurt by all this made a huge difference in my ability to walk away. Edit 2. For those asking about the mutual friends situation, most of them have been supportive of my decision. A few have gradually distanced themselves from Lily because, according to Sarah, every conversation becomes about the idol eventually, and it is exhausting. Final edit. Someone asked if I would ever consider getting back together if she changed. The honest answer is no. Even if she gave up the idol obsession completely, I don't think I could forget being told I was ordinary, or that she fantasized about someone else during intimate moments, or that she wished she was dating him instead of me. Some things cannot be unsaid, and some trust cannot be rebuilt. I am not bitter about it. I am just done.